Welcome to Fit for Life. I'm back and I'm so excited. This is our 25th show. Since we started, we've done 5 months of shows. It's wonderful. I'm enjoying it more and more as I do it. I'm getting more used to it. I love having you tune in. And today, for this particular show, which I think is special, we're going to kind of go back to the beginning when I mentioned biomarkers. The biomarkers of aging. There are 10 of them, and these are things, it says, what are they? They are the determinants of aging that you can control. These are things about your body that you can control yourself. It doesn't mean you're going to cure everything and you're going to be perfectly strong again, but you can improve no matter what your problems are, no matter the diseases. Unless you can't move at all, there are many things you can still do. If you stop doing everything because you feel you can't, because you have heart disease or diabetes or arthritis, there are many things you can still do. You can go to a physical therapist and they will design a program for you. So I'm going to just give you, a little information about each one because I think it's hopeful. So the first biomarker is muscle mass. And we've been working with that. We've been using that, making the muscles larger and stronger. It burns calories also. So the first one is muscle mass. We can improve our muscle mass. Strength, the next one kind of goes along with that. Yes, we can get stronger because we do get weaker as we age. So instead of saying, well, there's nothing I can do about it, there is. Again, as long as you can move at all. If you could, maybe you have a bad wrist or a bad hand, you can use the other arm. And there are still ways to adapt. There are things you can wear, devices you can wear that can help you move. There are things we can wear on our arthritic knees, which I have, which kind of reduce the pain so you are able to do things. Even if you couldn't bend your knee and do exercises like this, you can do lifting with a straight leg. So you're still strengthening and you're tightening your abdomen and strengthening this too, and your lower back and your hip. And then the third one is BMR. Do you know what that is? Basal metabolic rate. That has to do with turning what you eat into energy. As we get older, what happens? It decreases. We start gaining weight. We start losing strength. Also, the fifth is aerobic capacity. The fifth biomarker is aerobic capacity. We can increase that. We can increase our endurance. We can stop being out of breath just by taking a short walk or exercising. So the fifth one is aerobic, and that's why we do aerobics, and I think we're going to do a little bit of that today. We're going to kind of give an example of some of these things for you so you know what we're talking about. Also, insulin sensitivity. As you know, I'm a type 1 diabetic. When I am really busy during the day and moving, I don't even have to take insulin. Because I'm on the pump, I do have a background insulin that's coming in, but it's very, very small. But I don't have to dial in more insulin because I'm moving and burning. So, it helps with diabetes. If any of you have had heart surgery, you've had some training afterwards, they've shown you what exercises you can do. It's called cardio rehab. So even with that, so keep that in mind. So things are hopeful for us. Number 8 is your cholesterol. Cardiovascular exercise like walking, running, dancing, swimming can reduce the cholesterol. I'm not saying it takes it all away, that you're going to be just perfect, but it helps. All of these things help your overall health, the overall picture. So keep that in mind. I thought you might find that interesting. Again, it just kind of brings everything together that we've been doing physically. Mentally, we've been doing some meditation, some yoga breathing, because the healthy body, healthy mind, and the other way around. They affect each other, the mind-body connection it's called. And that's what yoga does. The word yoga means yoke or union, bringing those two together. And the breath helps to do that. So we're going to sit down, stay seated for a few minutes. Again, we're going back to the beginning, 5 months ago, and we're going to do our morning exercises that we do in bed. So for those of you that, might be handicapped a little bit, maybe there's a lot you can't do, at least right now, but some of these I think you can do. So instead of, you know how we have to run where in the morning, if you can, do some of this first, because these exercises will help to clear your mind. You get up, and sometimes if you've had a really deep sleep, you're a little bit hazy. Even young people get that way. If you've been sleeping 5, 6, 7, 8 hours, when you get up, you're not clear. So these exercises help get your circulation going, getting that blood up to the brain. And they're really easy. And my back bothers me a little bit sometimes. Until I do these, I find that it gets better faster. So keep that in mind. So we're going to slide forward. I'm going to make believe we just woke up. All right. I'll give you the easiest one first. And these were given to me by a man that was 100. He lived to be 100 years old. And he said he did these every day of his life. And I find that I'm doing them. I very, very seldom don't do them in the morning. So all you do is this, back and forth with your feet. If you did it with one leg, say you had a leg in a cast, I hope not, but you can still do it. So we do both. But the only thing is he did 100 of these. You can do it this way too, back and forth, or both in the same direction. And this is also good for what? For your ankle. Keeping those ankles stretched out and loose, flexible. Better for walking, especially up and down a curb, off of a curb, and just your regular walking. Sometimes your feet, one foot doesn't lift high enough, and what do? You stub your toe. So you want to strengthen and stretch your ankles. Let's do it this way. Just lift that leg up a little bit and circle the foot. This too is great for ankle flexibility. You want to keep it flexible. And let's go the other way. And when you're doing these, maybe you're writing them down. Do whatever comes to your mind also. You might think of exercises you've done in the past. That's what happens to me, because you really do get tired of doing the same thing over and over. The good part is you're still lying down. Your eyes are still closed, right? So that's a very good exercise to do. Another exercise I do is usually the second or third. The leg is flat on the mattress, right? You're just going to lift it up and down. So it'd be up, up, yeah. It's easier lying down. I'm telling you that right now. Do about 8 of them, 10. You might want to do more eventually. And you'll notice you're starting to wake up, because you do want to be kind of alert. You might have bed clothing on the floor or something. A lot of falls happen that way. The leg out straight, you're going to flex that foot and bounce it. When I flex the foot, it feels easier, so why don't you do that too, okay? And 5, and 6, and 7, 8, we'll do 10. All right, so you're stretching mostly. And here's what I want you to do next. Leg out straight again. Come forward if you can, and just hold underneath. See if you can lift that leg up. Now when you're lying down, that leg will go up a little bit higher, won't it? So lift that leg up. If you want, you can move your foot. Do just about anything you want to do, actually. And hold it. I try to hold it for at least 10 seconds. 15 or 20 is better. And then the other side, just lifting that leg up straight. You're stretching your hamstring and your lower back. And sometimes, especially if you've had bad dreams, those muscles just tighten right up. So you want to make sure you stretch them out. So we're strengthening a little bit, we're stretching, and then down. What I'd like to add also is the leg is flat on the bed. Just move it out to the side. We don't do enough out to the side. I'm not sure why. Maybe because of hip problems, things like that. Arthritis is common. Did you know there were 100 kinds of arthritis? 100. Yes, not good. Osteo is the most common. That's what most of us have. The other leg out straight. Now I didn't count, just moving back and forth while I'm talking. And I hope you're doing them with me. 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and 8 and 9 and 10. And as I said, if you think of something else that you've done before or you've seen on television or online, I should say. Everything is online today, isn't it? I mean, everything. All right, now the other thing I do is a little bit more for the hips and the lower back. And it's kind of easier to do in bed, actually. What I do is I put this foot down so the knee is bent. I cross the other leg over, the free leg, and with this leg, I pull it down and over. And you're getting a really good stretch here. I hope you can see what I'm doing here. And I just kind of leave it there. So you're getting a good stretch, getting the blood to that area, getting the circulation, well, improving it at least. So that's kind of an easy one. And it does feel good unless you have severe cramping or your muscles are severely tightened up, right? Let's try the other side. So you just cross over, and this leg, wherever this leg is on top, you pull in that direction, just so you don't get confused on that one. So it even feels good sitting here like this. Yeah. Also, I have another one for the hips. Just one more, I think. Okay, so you're bending the knee, you're putting the foot down, and you're going to put the opposite leg kind of above the knee a little bit here. Remember, lying down, and you're going to just push down. When you're lying down, you will be pushing forward, and this opens that hip up. Very tight, I can feel it. One side will always be easier or more difficult than the other. Just taking our time here today. Again, I wanted this to be a little bit of a review. The top fitness components: strength, flexibility, and cardiovascular. They still are, and we need all of them. Strength training twice a week, don't forget, with a day or two in between, right? And we do that here every week, 2 days with a day or two in between. Let's try the other side and bring it down. With this exercise, now that we're seated here, I want to just extend this a little bit. See my posture? So I'm going to put both hands here, pull myself up, shoulders down. Feels so good. Take this arm underneath here. Can you do it this way? And then you can get an even better stretch. So I use it for posture, for stretching the hip also. I really love this exercise. It's wonderful. If you can, some of you might be able to, if you can just lift the foot off for a few seconds, that would be even a better stretch if you could do it, okay? And up and down, all right? And then that's all we're going to do. We're almost done, but there's one more that I wanted to give you to tighten this area. A lot of us have a problem here as we get older. It just wants to pooch out. So I'm lying flat, and I kind of discovered this myself, I think. And all you do is just slide your heels, and this gets as hard as a rock. So keep that in mind. That is very good to tighten and tone and strengthen the abdominal muscles in the core, same thing. All right, and do at least 10, 15 of those. One more, just one more of these exercises. Come forward in your chair, sitting nice and tall, and we're going to do a core exercise similar to what we just did. Tightening, abdomen, hips, glutes, lower back. Yes? Hands together, nice and tall now. And you have to come forward because you need some room back here. I don't want you to touch the back of the chair right away. And just go down slowly. Don't hold your breath. Can you feel it? It really tightens. You can do this sitting on the floor too. And bring yourself up. I'm going to come forward even more. Let's take a breath together up through the nose. When you exhale, just tighten that abdomen. It'll tighten by itself when you do this. And then just go back. How does that feel? Oh, yeah. We like that. That's wonderful. Oh. Okay, grab some water. I want to give you a couple of other things. It's kind of a test. See how you're doing if you've been tuning in a few times a week. These things should be getting a little easier for you. All right. Are you ready? Okay. Now, All right, you know what I forgot to do? Sit back down. Every time you get up in my class, on my show, I want you to get up without holding on, right? Yes. We are going to do a little test for your cardiovascular fitness. I think we did this at least once. We are going to try to run in place. What is that? Well, we can't run around here because you wouldn't see me. So in place means right where you are. Oh man, we love this. Isn't this easy? Yeah, it's easy. We're going to try it for 30 seconds first, and then we're going to try it for a minute, and we might try it for a minute and a half. And that sounds like a very short amount of time, but if you're not used to it, you're not used to walking or dancing or doing this kind of exercise. I do a lot of exercise in front of the television now, especially if there's music on. So take advantage of that. It makes you feel like dancing and moving, okay? All right, so now for those people that can't be bouncing like this, you can march in place, because we're not going to run like this. We're just kind of just lifting each foot a little bit off the floor. Again, if you cannot do that, just march in place. At least you're moving. So we're going to do 30 seconds first, and I don't have a watch, so I'm going to count. So get ready, keep going. Almost done. So that's 30 seconds. Was that easy? Was it? How about a minute? I'm pretty good at counting seconds, so don't worry if you want to do this and just relax for a minute. Great. This is a nice little twist for your upper body. Okay, so let's do 1 minute of jogging in place, walking or jogging. I would call it jogging really, but it's kind of it's the same kind of exercise. So here we go. I won't talk to you because I have to count, okay? Here we go. Halfway. And there it is. How do you feel? Are you out of breath? If you're terribly out of breath, it means you need a little work. You've either got to walk, you've got to do some dancing, you've got to get on a treadmill, you've got to get on a bicycle, a stationary bicycle, you've got to do something aerobic. Again, if I'm tired at night and I haven't exercised during the day, I stand in front of that TV, I put on a show that has music, and I just stand there and do everything I can think of just to move. Keep it in mind, it's really important. We need cardiovascular too for our heart and our lungs, right? Okay, let's do the balance test. We actually should be able to balance for 15 seconds on one foot. That's a lot, isn't it? That seems like a long time, but to avoid a fall, we need to be able to do it. So let's practice and see if we can do 4 seconds. What do you think? All you have to do is stand there and stare at me. Lift up your heel, arms out for balance, right? Make sure your weight isn't on the heel, but on the front part of that supporting leg. So you still have both feet on the floor, heel is up, nice and tall. Come slightly forward, don't push your chin out. And lift 1, 2, 3, and 4. Did you do it? I probably couldn't do it in a loafer, but a tie shoe will help you. Keep that in mind if you're going to do a lot of walking. They're in style. They've got sparkly They've got all kinds of colors, all styles. Very popular, these comfortable shoes, but they're tie shoes, most of them, and that's important. Try it again for 5 seconds. Lift same leg. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. You probably did better than I did on that, right? Bend both knees to relax. Let's try the other side. Just lift that heel up, arms out, nice and tall, and lift it up. 1, 2, 3, 4. If you can do 5, that's good. For some reason, I'm doing better on the weaker side. That's pretty good. Bending, nice and tall. Lift the heel, no problem there, right? All right, and you're going to lift up 1, whoops, 2, 3, whoops, 4, and 5. We need to do 15 of those. What do you think? So I'd like you to practice, please. Do that for yourself. And now we're going to just strengthen those lower legs a little bit too. So I'm going to get behind the chair. You're going to get behind the chair, but I'm going to turn my chair also. I know you can all see me. And again, I know I give you so many different exercises, but this one I really would like you to try to do every day, or at least every other day. Really important. We're going to do the heel lifts. You ready? So it's 1. Try doing them with one hand, holding on one hand, up, and 5, and 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Now when you're doing them on your own, try to do another set, okay? In the beginning, the one set is okay. Try 2 sets, and now you know what I'm going to tell you to do, right? You're going to do it on one leg, on your weaker side, so we can balance your strength, okay? All right, so I'm going to stand on my left leg, nice and tall, lift up 1, 2, 3. And if you can't do 10, just do what you can. 6, good, and 7, and 8, and 9, and 10. Now, I could hardly do that a couple of weeks ago because I kind of stopped doing this. So now that I'm doing the show, I find I'm more cognizant of what I should be doing and when I should be doing it and how much I should be doing things. But again, those 3 fitness components every week we have to do. And it wouldn't hurt to throw some meditation and relaxation in there. Try to clear your mind and stop thinking about all the things that are going on, right? Unless we can do something about it, of course. I'm going to turn my chair back. You don't have to do that. I'm going to come out here. And I just don't want you to do that, so try to stay nice and straight. I haven't given you this one before. Try this with me. Cross one foot over. We're going to hold on. This is a really nice stretch. It just came to me. Never hurts to stretch. You can never stretch too much. So you're just going to drop down. Hold on. Drop down. Keep your head up. Anything hurts, you're going to stop it. I'm assuming you've all had permission to do exercise, or if you feel you don't need it, that's up to you, but I have to mention that. When you start an exercise program, it's always good to ask your doctor. I feel that in the back of the knees and in the hamstring also. Let's put the other foot in front and just drop down. Keep your head up, good. I can feel that. Now you won't fall as long as you're holding on. If you need to hold on with both hands, that's okay too. All right, so as I said once, or maybe many times, everything we do in life is forward. Really, it is. I want us to go back a little bit, okay? So how will we do that? You know what? Let's do that again. Cross one foot over. Bring the opposite arm up. You're holding on now. I'd like you to just push the hips forward a little bit and do a little back bend. Maybe this hurts. Maybe this is difficult. So don't go all the way back. Just stand straight like this. But if you could go back, we have got to compensate for that constant rounding that we all do. It makes you look not 10 years old or 20 years older. It does. This is not a good look. All right. Whichever one I did before or didn't do before. Reaching up, a little bit of a back bend. All right. I'm going to give you one more. What the heck? I just love this one too. But I have to turn the chair. You stay where you are. Hold on. We will end with this, I promise. Sometimes I just can't stop exercising. So you're going to go back, walk back a few steps. Your arms are straight. They're not bent. They're straight, right? Yes. Holding on. Try to flatten that back out if you can. I wish I had a mirror here to see where I am. I don't do it all the time, so maybe my back isn't so flat. Just do what you can. Bend those knees. Walk back. That's easy, right? All right. And very gently do your back bend, holding on. Good. I just heard something go click. Now let's walk back one more time. One more time. Flatten that back. Oh, that feels good. We're really stretching out. Maybe we'll get taller if we stretch enough. If you want to get taller, bend the knees, straighten, and then walk back. We'll do a back bend. Yay! Wow, we did a lot of stuff today, didn't we? Did I say that was the last exercise? One more. Just turn your back to the back of the chair. And this too is going to be great to flatten out that upper back. Just get those elbows back, a little back bend here. Don't drop your head too far back. Just look up at the ceiling, but get those elbows back. Wonderful, just wonderful. Let's sit down and do nothing. Because it's very difficult for us, I think, to do nothing. We're so used to being active. Even retired people. Retired people are very busy today also. So I hope you enjoyed that at least. And just realize how important it is to do these things. I just try to explain why we do them, what we're doing, the reason for it, how important it is. And I really appreciate you looking in. And you know, my name is Karen. My name is Karen. I'm a senior fitness specialist. I've been doing this for, well, over 40 years, maybe 45 now, which I can't believe either. So again, it's just fun to be with you. Maybe someday I'll meet some of you too, and that will be great. But remember, we don't stop playing because we grow old. We grow old because we what? Stop playing. So keep that in mind. And we'll see you next time. Bye.